tomorrow. Yeah, I got bored. So, someone asked me the other day, and I'm actually sort of surprised to myself that I haven't already mentioned it on here. But it was about how I got the scar on my face. Probably I've even called the video that, I don't know. That's probably why you're watching. But it goes back to, I think it would have been about 1990-ish time. Or around about that time anyway. But I was 19 months old and I was born in 88, so that's like what? Yeah, I don't know when. But yeah, so it was me and my nan had gone to get my brother from primary school, and we stood outside, and we don't know why exactly, because nothing ever got confirmed really. But a car swerved off the road, and like, if I say took us both out, you know what I mean? It like got us both. And so she's left with a scar up her leg, and I'm left with a scar on my face, which is sort of a bit more obvious than it being on your leg. I think I'd have preferred it on my leg. But apparently I ended up in the hubcap of the car, which, for those of you who don't know, I think it's a bit over the wheel. I'm not too sure. I always just thought that was called a thing. So I ended up there, and I am not too sure where my nan ended up, but I know that it happened literally outside the classroom where my brother was getting like his lessons in the afternoon or something like that. So it is a little bit disturbing for him to like. I don't think he saw it. I know his friend like stood up and told him about it, or said that there'd been a crash or something, and that I would have been involved. I'm not too sure what happened. And the actual accident itself, I don't remember at all. I've had no flashbacks, just no memory. But I think it's rare for you to find people that will remember when they are like a baby. I think just everyone at that age sort of has like a memory of a goldfish, and it doesn't last that long. So yeah, I don't actually remember it happening. And so on the day, they didn't breathalyse him. He was a doctor in, I think it's Wigan Hospital, or was it Wrightington? I can't remember which one. But yeah, and he didn't get breathalyzed. He claimed that it was a tyre got punctured, and that caused the car to swerve off the road, and unfortunately hit the both of us. So it would have happened anyway. It just turned out that we were in the wrong place at the wrong time. So the police, do they call it forensic team? The ones who come out and like investigate after the accident. I don't know what they're called. But they came out and said that yes, the tyre was punctured, but it was proven that it was after impact that the tyre punctured. Like, it hadn't happened before the accident, if that makes sense. And just on another subject altogether, I find that absolutely fascinating that they can tell stuff like that. I think it is really, really interesting. And that isn't me being sarcastic, I genuinely do think that's really interesting. I'll try not to watch programmes with stuff in it like that, because the programmes bore me, but when it happens in real life, and they can tell, like, how fast that someone was going at what time and that sort of stuff, it is sort of fascinating, because I don't really understand how they do it. I probably wouldn't find it as fascinating if I knew how they did it, but there you go. So, yeah. It went to court. I think he got 2 points on his licence and a fine, which wasn't really much. And I know I was operated on. I think I had a broken arm and a broken leg. I'm not too sure. In fact, no, I did have a broken leg, because there's a picture and I'm sat on something and my leg's in plaster. So yes, I did break my leg, but I'm not too sure about my arm, unless that healed before, I don't know. But so yeah, and I obviously got the scar on my face, which my dad has told me how long I was in surgery for, but I can't remember. But obviously that's left me with the scar, and I have looked into it recently, and you know what, you can get like lasered off scars and all that sort of stuff. I have looked into doing that, and I don't know. I'd love for it not to be there, and not because it brings back memories. It's just the fact that this video now has to be like the 10 millionth time I've told this story, and it really does bore me now. I don't remember it, and it's just basically like me telling people what happened in an episode of Coronation Street, but over and over again, because I don't remember it. It's like, well, I know what happened, so I'll tell you what happened, but I don't remember it, and I've got the scar to prove that it happened and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and it's not a subject I don't like to talk about, don't get me wrong, and I think to this day there's still bits of information that I find out, like what happened before the accident, what the plans were for that day had the accident not happened, and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. And then I didn't really get much bullying for it during high school. Well, any school really. I think it was just more like a curiosity that people had, in the way that they weren't really too sure A, what it was, or B, how it got there. So obviously I had to tell them and all that. So yeah, so that's pretty much the story about my scar. And I don't know, if you see it in like a year's time and I've got it lasered off, then yay for me. If I haven't got it lasered off in a year, then yes, you can take it. I will still be looking for a sugar daddy who will pay for it and get that fixed as well. And while we're at it, I could also do with a facelift, maybe some Botox, definitely some liposuction as well. I need to get